The Chief of Defense Forces, the professional head of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, is responsible for the administration and the operational control of the Ugandan military. The position was established after the National Resistance Army was reconstituted as the Uganda People's Defense Forces. 3 years after the NRA's victory in the Ugandan Bush War in 1986, here are the 4 officers who served in that position before NRA was reconstituted as the Uganda People's Defense Force. Major Hamad Segua. Major Hamad Segua was the first commander of the National Resistance Army and died of stomach ailment at the start of the 1981 to 1986 war. Segua had been appointed overall commander shortly after the attack on Kubamba Barracks in January 1981. Segua, who had trained at Monduli in Tanzania, eventually died of a liver ailment in Kampala. His body was emblemed and secretly kept at Mulago Medical School until November 30th, 1990, when it was buried in Mukono. Lieutenant Colonel Sam Magala. Sam Magala was a Ugandan rebel and one of the National Resistance Army's leading commanders during the early Ugandan Bush War, a long-time associate of NRA leader Yoweri Museveni. He became the later second in command in 1981 and assumed command of the NRA in his absence. However, he fell into disfavor after the NRA's internal security network alleged that he was planning to overthrow Museveni. Magala was eventually killed by security forces in Kampala in late 1982. General Salim Sare. Salim Sare is a retired Ugandan military officer who served in the Uganda People's Defense Force, the armed forces of Uganda. He is a brother to the President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, and an advisor to the President on military matters. He served as a Minister of State for Microfinance from 2006 to 2008. Sale's name has surfaced in controversies regarding corruption, including being implicated by the UN Security Council for plundering natural resources in Democratic Republic of Congo. General Eli Tumwine. General Eli Tumwine was a Ugandan military officer, designer, visual artist, and educator. He was the former security minister in the cabinet of Uganda from March 2018 until 2021. Retired from active military service in July 2022. He served as commander of the National Resistance Army from 1984 to 1987. He was one of the highest-ranking members of the Ugandan military who recently called on police to shoot at protesters. He also ordered the military to kidnap illegally and send opposition members to be tried in military courts based on trumped-up charges, which resulted in Bobi Wine's supporters suing for human rights violation. This led the United States to sanction the Ugandan generals over human rights abuse. He was a member of the Ugandan Parliament representing the Uganda People's Defense Force.